Portland Trailblazers coach Chauncey Billups was arraigned here in Brooklyn Federal Court on charges he was involved in a rigged poker game involving mafia figures. He pleaded not guilty to the federal charges. He didn't speak outside of court, but his lawyers have said that he's innocent of the charges. Billups is charged with wire fraud conspiracy and money laundering conspiracy charges. He was among more than 30 defendants that were implicated in the gambling scheme, which involved rigged poker tables, X-ray machines,
Okay, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the video. Just going to touch on this topic here for a quick moment. As we've heard in the news, Chauncey Billups and several others charged, with, conspiring and, dealing with mafia figures that were running red poker games. Excuse me. At first, I thought it was like him betting on sports, but it actually goes a little bit deeper. It seems like he was the face to a lot of these games. So when they would get new players in, as they like to call them, fish, they would be, you know, starstruck and overwhelmed with the fact that, hey, Chauncey Billups is here. A lot of them, would know Chauncey Billups as an NBA world champion with the Detroit Pistons, and he had a nice career in the NBA as well as becoming a head coach of the Portland Trailblazers. So, they were saying that they were using all types of devices and equipment that I really honestly didn't know existed, and these types of equipments was used to rig the poker game. So, they would know what your hand was. They could pretty much predict your next move with the information that they had as far as how rigged the games were. And so, these new players, or like fish as they would call them, they would come in thinking that they had a fair chance at winning. I'm sure there was huge pots involved because, why go through all this and, risk all this without it being huge amounts of money involved. And they're saying, he's been charged with wire fraud, among other things. So that could mean him receiving payments or him sending out payments to other individuals. My question is, man, how does a head coach in the NBA that is very decorated, how do you get yourself into this position to where you're involved with these type of shady figures, as they like to say? How do you get yourself involved in that? Even if you're approached, you got to have better common sense to know